Hello everyone. Today we will present the Central Bank of Armenia. More specifically, the key function of the central bank, which is maintaining the stability of prices. CBA is an independent agency responsible for issuing all banknotes and coins in the country, ensuring the cycle of national currency, dram, maintaining financial sector stability, and so on. Since the primary function of CBA is to maintain stability of prices, some questions might arise. For example, why is the central bank given the authority to carry out this process? The CBA is the owner of the Armenian mint and is constantly regulating the amount of money in the market. Since the rate of prices is directly influenced by the amount of money in the market, this can lead to the rise and fall of prices for certain items. If there is a large amount of money in the market, this leads to a higher demand for products. When there isn't an appropriate amount of products in accordance to the demand, this leads to the rise of prices. Respectively, if there is a small amount of money in the market, then this leads to a less demand of products and the fall of prices. The purpose of CBA is to be a transparent, independent, knowledge-based and effective entity that always supports the sustainable macroeconomic development of Armenia. Other key tasks of the CBA include opposing against terrorism financing and managing the international reserves of the Republic of Armenia. The process of maintaining national prices is a very complicated process that includes many different procedures, including the monetary policy.
Price stability, which is one of the main functions of Central Bank of Armenia, is the situation whereby the prices of goods and services offered in a marketplace either change very slowly or do not change at all. Factors affecting this include employment and inflation. The objective of price stability refers to the general level of prices in the economy. It implies avoiding both prolonged inflation and deflation. Price stability contributes to achieving high levels of economic activity and employment by, firstly, improving the transparency of the price mechanism. Under price stability, people can recognize changes in relative prices without being confused by changes in the overall price level. This allows them to make well-informed consumption and investment decisions and to allocate their resources more efficiently. Then by reducing inflation risk premium in interest rates. This reduces real interest rates and increases incentives to invest. Thirdly, by avoiding unproductive activities to hedge against the negative impact of inflation or deflation. Moreover, by reducing distortions of inflation or deflation, which can have the distortionary impact on economic behavior of tax and social security systems. Then by preventing an arbitrary redistribution of wealth and income as a result of unexpected inflation or deflation. And finally, price stability contributes to financial stability in the whole economy as well.
Financial stability is a condition where financial system resists shocks so that it maintains liquidity and solvency, successfully performs transactions and transmissions, facilitates investment opportunities in the economy. Financial stability is considered a continuum, inchangeable over time and consistent with multiple combinations of elements in science. Financial stability is the stability of key financial institutions and financial markets, and does not rule out bankruptcy as part of individual financial institutions. A stable financial system is a key ingredient for a healthy and successful economy. Financial stability consists of 4 different sectors: maintaining financial stability as an objective of central bank, instruments used by CBA to maintain financial stability, central bank policies, and financial stability committee. There are 2 main objectives. The first one is maintaining appropriate functioning of financial system of Republic of Armenia, and the second one is providing stability, liquidity, and solvency. There are many instruments used by Central Bank of Armenia in order to maintain stability. There are 5 of them. Risks analysis and assessment encourages financial market participants to increase their awareness of risks to act accordingly. Payment system development, market operations, and liquidity assistance. And finally, Financial Stability Committee. In order to identify probable risks, CBA analyzes a number of indicators of local and financial system, monitors financial markets, and oversees payment systems. CBA uses internationally known stress testing models to assess the vulnerability of financial system. Stress scenarios are simple what-if events which allow to assess the costs of financial system and individual participants. And finally, the Financial Stability Committee, which was established in 2011, also identifies probable risks that threaten the financial stability and tries to find the main chains of its influence.
In 1994, for the first time, the central bank formulated a monetary policy program, in that way adopting the strategy to curb inflation. In 2006, the central bank moved to a fully fledged inflation targeting strategy. In view of price stability, the Central Bank of Armenia develops, approves, and implements a monetary policy program. The Armenian Law on Central Bank, Article 6. The central bank implements monetary policy based on principles laid down in inflation targeting strategy and floating exchange rate policy. Keeping prices stable under inflation targeting strategy is primary long-term goal of the monetary policy. To achieve this goal, the central bank makes sure there is high level of transparency and accountability by making monetary policy programs, tasks and goals, and the ways how to achieve them publicly available. Some features of monetary policy. It is tended to future. The policy presents forecasts for the upcoming 12-month horizon. Monetary policy doesn't react to shocks, but to second-round effects and expectations generated as a result of those shocks, and monetary policy is independent. Central bank policies to maintain financial stability fall into three types. The one is the preventive policy. It is when the financial system is characterized as stable, or in other words, the fluctuations of main indicators are within a allowable band. Then the policy is implemented. The second one is corrective policy. It is when financial system fluctuations are within the target band yet tend to infringe it, which might cause high volatilities in certain financial or non-financial sector. And the third one is covering policy. It is implemented in case the fluctuations of financial system are behind the level allowed and the system is not able to perform its key functions. Every strategy follows the operational, intermediate, final purpose pattern. Operational purpose is the one on which CBA can affect directly. Under different strategies, different operational purposes are applied. Surely it is impossible to reach final purpose just only influencing the operational one. This chain is interrupted by intermediate purpose, which is different in accordance with strategies. Intermediate purpose acts as a nominal anchor for the strategy. It transmits the impact of strategy to that nominal anchor, and CBA provides the final purpose, which is the stability of prices. The important feature is that the intermediate purpose of monetary policy must be appropriated with the final purpose of it.
So, until now, we generally spoke what price stability and monetary policy were, and now I'll try to explain the process of monetary policy. Each year, the board of CBA makes decisions 8 times and defines the rate. And every trimester promulgates the monetary policy program, which gives the direction CBA what to do, what kind of risks it sees. This process takes a long time. CBA can't make a decision about the rate which will affect in the next month. There is always a long lag, approximately 12 months. So CBA must predict how much inflation must be after 12 months and policy must correct it if there are deviations. For example, if inflation is higher, they should decrease. In this graph, we see the forecasting of 2016. The black line is actual inflation, and the other part with blue is the forecasting of 2016. This process is forward-looking, which means at this moment CBA can't affect, it must evaluate the future and then affect in it. And for forecasting inflation, CBA analyzes 4 economic sectors: external, real, fiscal and financial. And monetary policy also can be rule-based. As we know, in our economy cycle there are gaps, and in the graph we see the potential GDP line and factual GDP line. There are always receding and steering, and CBA has to balance it to potential GDP. As we know, the actual GDP is 4 plus minus 1.5%, but now it can display 2%, so de facto is less than the potential. This means that CBA must add money to balance GDP. But also they can be the vice versa when the potential is lower than de facto, and CBA has to do the counter process. So the logic of this model is denudation of gaps. This can work several times for finally balanced GDP. To sum up, monetary policy keeps the prices stable in the whole marketplace, and Price stability contributes to achieving high level of economic activity and unemployment.